I didn't even really think about it at the time, but all those influences kind of leaked into my playing. And before I knew it, I kind of had a different approach than most drummers. You know, that we play with, I realized, you know, I had stuff on the top, cymbals going. It wasn't just playing these beats. And I mean, if you had to sum me up as a player, I would definitely say I'm a metal player playing jazz on a jazz kit. In a way, you know what I mean? But I mean, Vinny Colaiuta to this day still blows my mind. You know, I mean, you have the gospel drummers, you know, like Chris Coleman. Oh my God, you know, just some amazing, amazing players. And you have the Thomas Langs and the Virgil Donatis, who are just like taking the double bass and the multi-limbed dexterity thing to just absolute other universes. But funny enough, I can still kind of find a lot of inspiration from someone who plays a very tasty groove, like a Phil Gould from Level 42, or a Rayford Griffin from John McConnell. Just solid, deep groove, you know what I mean? Keeping in time. All comes back to that, right? We're drummers, what do we do to keep time? So, I mean, it's nice to play crazy stuff over the top, but if you're not making the music feel good, it's pointless, so... But yeah, influences are all over the place. I mean, I get drum influences from listening to Stravinsky, orchestral music, 20th century, you know. Pretty eclectic music tastes, you know, I mean, all over the place.
Another question from the past. Tell us something about your experience with Chuck.
Sure. That's a question I get asked very frequently. Obviously, which is amazing to me, because I still fans come up and are just like Deaf Human, and it's amazing to me, because that was literally 20 years ago, you know what I mean? I'm very grateful to Chuck. He gave us a tremendous opportunity playing for his band. You know, it really helped Cynic, and it really helped my career a lot. You know, there's a lot of rumors about Chuck and his temperament and his, you know, on and off, and he's a nice guy, he's a mean guy. But I think we were lucky enough to have worked with Chuck in a time frame that was, he had been through a lot of that time, and he really kind of had this fucking attitude. I'm going to have fun, you know, I want to surround myself with the best musicians I can find. And he was extremely open to my ideas and my playing. You know, the funny thing is when I hear the Death records, I would think such cool riffs, man, but like there's so much you could do with the drums, you know what I mean? Instead of just, you know, plodding along. So when, you know, when Chuck was really open to all the stuff I was bringing to the table, you know, it made it that much easier. And again, you know, it's super grateful to him, because it definitely kick-started the whole Cynic thing. I mean, we had a buzz at that time, but no one would sign us because we were so different, you know? And I think the association with Death, you know, it was kind of obvious to Roadrunner that, well, okay, sadly enough, we can make money with this band. That's their motivation, you know. So, yeah, you know, there's good times and bad times, but, you know, it's such a tragedy what happened to him that, you know, I try to erase any of the bad memories and just think about the good stuff, because there was a ton of that. It really was.
Now, this is a great moment for seeing more tools in North America on the Sugar or Festival in Europe. Sharp projects for the future of singing.
Well, just to do a new record, you know, it's been really hard because we keep getting offered these amazing tours, you know, and it's really hard to turn that down, because there's nothing more important than being visible playing live. That's your best marketing technique. That's the best promotion you can do, is just to be on the road. But at the same time, you know, you need to spend, you know, to write and record and release a record. It's a big undertaking if you're going to do it right, you know, starting from fresh. So we definitely want to write another record. I mean, we didn't even know we were going to do Traced in Air. We did the reunion, and then, you know, the audience response was just absolutely overwhelming. So we went home and said, my God, you know, we're energized. Let's write music. Like, it feels right. It feels right now. And it's kind of been doing this steady little upward thing. So, quite honestly, every other project is on hold, you know, because this is so kind of time intensive. And so, I mean, just more music, more touring, I'm sure, you know. I think it's such a treat for us because in '94 when we broke up, you know, there was a handful of cynic bands that got it, but the music scene kind of wasn't, or the metal scene wasn't really ready for it. It was kind of too different. And it was a shame because it left a really kind of sad feeling for us to have to let that go just because it wasn't working. So to come back now this many years and to have this response, this fan base, you know, it's very humbling and very special to us. So we want to make sure we treat it nicely and nurture it. You know?
Can you tell us something about the Ion Sport project?
Yeah,
it's really interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the thing. Our music tastes are so all over the place. And, you know, the funny thing is putting the Eon Spoke cap on. You know, people think, oh, Sean Reinert, flying feet and hands and craziness. And when I was playing Eon Spoke and tracking and playing live, I found it incredibly challenging to play slow tempos and make them feel nice. Make the music feel good, really slow. To me, it was harder than playing double bass at 210 miles an hour. You know what I mean? It's a different side, and you know, I always tell my students constantly, play other styles of music. Even if you suck at it, just put yourself out there. You learn so much more playing different musical environments than you would just playing the same thing. You develop your ears, you develop your ability to interact with the other musicians, build your musical vocabulary. It's really important, you know, and especially in today's metal scene. I mean, the influences are all over the place now. It's really cool, you know, to see bands with keyboards and, you know, tablas and didgeridoos and, like, you know, I think the metal scene is definitely open to new colors, you know.
Questa